All right, it's Wednesday evening about 9:30. We have now achieved sky dark. I'm out of the observatory. I'm just exploring. I started off with NGC 4000. It's a galaxy in Leo. I'm just going to progress from there. Any galaxy in Leo or Virgo, I'm going to kind of turn up. This is really a galaxy group. I can see any number of faint fuzzies on the screen ahead of me, but I believe just below that bright star, to about the 7 o'clock position, is a magnitude 14.5, 1 by 0.2 arc-minute spiral galaxy with a small bar and core, 208 million light years distant. Now, I'm not sure you can see anything else on the screen because there's other galaxies located up here, but what I'm really interested in is just this little faint one. I believe it's right there, although there's several. I'm operating at 256 flood. I am not sitting on my pillow. I've got the camera mounted on the makeshift yoke on the OTA. I'm using the Handycam this evening, not the SONY. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of progress through the NGC catalog beginning at 4000 and see what turns up. Our next study is NGC 4002. It's a galaxy in Leo also, magnitude 14.8 by 0.4 arc minutes. It's a spiral with of class AB. I'm not sure what the A stands for, but I think the B stands for bar. 297 million light years distant. And although I can kind of see something right about here that may be a 14th magnitude galaxy, there are several other little splotches on the screen, but this is likely to be our galaxy of interest right below my finger there. So I'm going to go ahead and push on to the next galaxy in the series, which is a 13.3. So let's go to that one. I'll just leave the camera active so you can watch the image assembly process. Well, it sure didn't go far. So apparently there is a neighboring galaxy. This is probably the 13.3 and that was the 14. I'll give you the spec on it as soon as I can call up the data. Takes a little while to fetch things in the Gemini 2 out of the NGC catalog. Okay, 4003 is magnitude 13.3, 1.5 by 0.9 arc minutes, 301 million light years distant. It's a spiral with a large bar, and it's a class O. So I suspect this one right here, which you may or may not see on the screen, is our galaxy. Yeah, I kind of see it on the display. So I'm going to turn this Handycam off. It's running on battery. It likes to shut itself down, and then we'll go on to the next one. Well, our next series of studies is probably a galaxy group. I'm seeing several galaxies up here at the low contrast region of the screen. I'm also seeing a few down here. I'm trusting that this is NGC 4004 right there. This is 4004A. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 14, 1.8 by 0.6 arc minutes. It's an irregular galaxy, 161 million light years distant. That should be intriguing because they're usually fairly small galaxies, and to be as far away as 161 million light years puts that up near the Milky Way size galaxy. There's also a 4004b. It's magnitude 15, smaller, 5.5 by 0.3 arc minutes, and it's a spiral of the O class, which means it's pretty well mature as a galaxy. And that's probably this tighter one right here at my fingertips, so they're fairly close. It's 149 million light years distant. I'm going to go on to another galaxy, and this one will be NGC 4005, galaxy in Leo. It's 1.2 by 0.7 It's a spiral, 204 million light years distance, and the magnitude is 13.1. So let's watch it develop. And it wasn't too far away. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011, 1012, 1013, 1014, 1015, 1016. I'm seeing some faint fuzzies forming in here. Can't be sure which one it is. When you're operating in 14th magnitude galaxies, you basically see the core at about magnitude 15. That typically requires at least a 12-inch scope to show the core. And that's under really good seeing conditions. We're probably operating at 250. We are operating as a 24-inch, which gives us down to magnitude 16.5. So there's our look at NGC 4005. What we're supposed to be looking at here is NGC 4006, a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 12.6, 1.6 by 1.2 arc minutes. It's an elliptical galaxy. It's not stating whether it's a 0, a 3, 5, 7. It's 263 million light years distant. And at that size, it's pretty much, I believe, an M31 size galaxy. I had to pick out the galaxy, which is very difficult for me because I got the screen shining in my face. I'd say it's probably somewhere in this region here. I'm going to go ahead to the next galaxy on the NGC list, 4007. This one's 13.1 magnitude, 1.2 by 0.7 arc minutes. It's a spiral, 204 million light years distance. NGC 4007. Now you'll notice the NGC catalog is actually set up by right ascension. So just because I'm progressing by one number after another doesn't necessarily mean it'll be in Leo, but it will be. The right ascension are tending from the west towards the east. Okay, so let me give you, I do believe I've already given you the spec on NGC 4007. If there's galaxy forming here, I am seeing something right beneath this bright star, and it's fairly small. We're seeing only the core. As I said, these are mostly 13th and 14th magnitude galaxies, and what I'm going to do now is switch off the camera and do the next search. Well, I think we're finally getting to a magnitude that you can set your eye teeth into without having to play around with this contrast bar, because I'm using a fixed camera location. It's NGC 4008. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12, a little larger, 2.4 by 1.3 arc minutes, and elliptical, 168 million light years distant. And it's pretty clear. It is located right there at the tip of my finger. So we're centering up pretty good. So let me push on to the next one. Well, 4009 is actually a star in Leo, so catalog got it wrong. 410 is in Ursa Majoris. 4011, this is a really faint one. I don't think I'm going to bother with it. There's a galaxy in Virgo at magnitude 13.4. Let's give it a shot. And once the mount stops, you should be able to get an idea how long it takes to formulate the image on the screen. I just saw a star pop up. Let me tell you about NGC 4012. By looking it up again. Seeing it form on the screen, I'm looking at the handset. NGC 4012 is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 13.4, 1.9 by 0.6 arc minutes. It's a spiral with a bar, 193 million light years distant. I'm seeing something faint right there at the tip of my finger. Not sure whether you can see it or not. I'm going to have to inspect it tomorrow. This is why I don't really like to use a mounted camera. At these very long exposure times, I do not want to be repositioning the image. So I just want to go ahead and do this experiment tonight with a little bit of exploration. So our next galaxy will be 4014 and Coma Berenices. It's magnitude 12.3. It's also known as NGC 4028, so it got duplicated. 2.2 by 1.3 arc minutes. It's a spiral of class A. Not sure what that represents. 173 million light years distant. Okay, I'm seeing a galaxy located right about there at the tip of my finger. I'm hoping we can also see it on the monitor PC tomorrow when I actually do the editing of the video. Once again, that was NGC 4014. Another galaxy in Coma Berenices. I don't think I want to go after a 14.2 at this point. Another one is 13.3, that's 4016. 4017 is 12.2. I'm going to shut down the camera and we'll go to it. Now you can see NGC 4017, galaxy in Coma Berenices, magnitude 12.2, 1.8 by 1.4 arc minutes. It's a spiral with a large bar, core at 157 million light years, and you can make it out right in the very center of the screen, so the tracking's been quite good actually. There's a 13.8 magnitude Galaxy 18, I'm not going to go to it. Magnitude 14, large one, that's 4019. There's a Galaxy 4020, but that's an Ursa Major. 4021 is 15.3. I suppose we should go for it. It's supposed to be very compact, 449 million light years distance, magnitude 15.3, 0.4 by 0.3. I doubt we'll be able to figure it, make it out. But we'll go ahead and give it a shot. Wow, we've got some night birds flying over. .4021 is our NGC study. Coma Berenices should be near the center of the screen. Oh, I see something formulating there. That baby's faint. Hopefully it'll turn up on the Handycam as well. NGC 4021, I'll remind myself once again of the values associated with it, because it actually is kind of turning up. So once again, 4021 is in Coma Berenices. I can see it right in the very center of the screen, slightly to the bottom. Magnitude 15.3. Condensed down to 4 by 0.4 by 0.3 arc minutes. 450 million light years distant. I've seen them as far as 600 million light years using the Rev 2 on the 6-inch scope, operating, I think I used to operate only to 128, now I'm operating at 256 flood at 42 auto gain control, but there's definitely a galaxy right at the tip of my finger. Wow. Now we can go back to a 13th magnitude galaxy, 4022, with 1.2 by 1.2. It's a spiral of class O, which means it's fairly condensed, 201 million light years distant. Let's hop to that baby. Didn't have to go far. Hope we didn't confuse it with the other one. I see a galaxy. I see several galaxies in this field. So this one may, the one I thought was 4021 could really turn out to be 4022. Scope just finished repositioning. Wow, it's hard to say, but there's another faint galaxy right about, there's several galaxies all on the screen here. So it might be very difficult to determine which is which. Brightest one is probably this baby right here, but the alignment's been very good tonight. Well, I'm up to doing one more, and that's going to be a well-known galaxy. Let's take a look at the sombrero just to be able to compare views. I'm going to shut down the camera now. We're going to swing to the sombrero and get a look at it so we can compare the seeing conditions tonight to the way they've been. There are quite a few galaxies right here in this screen though. Wow. Many of which probably do not have a drier catalog entry. Well, here's our stationary mounted jury rig camera, the Handycam, giving us a view of Messier 104, the Sombrero Galaxy. And it goes to prove that we were getting a pretty good image tonight. We're not even over the bar. So I'm shifting the cameras a little bit here. I can push it. Let's see if we can push it down to the high contrast region of the screen. There we go, a little further. A little too far. Alright, that should do. So there's our view of the Sombrero Galaxy tonight. Well into sky dark. But there's another galaxy I'd like to look at too, but it would have to pole flip to do it. So I'm going to carpe noctem out on this. But Messier, I believe it's Messier 83, a very large bright galaxy. And let's put that on the docket for another evening as we begin to approach the new moon conditions for observing. Carpe noctem on a night of pure galactic exploration.